What is up, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Dan Cody. This is where I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you for joining us, and thank you guys so much because we have officially reached 200. So I really appreciate that. As we all saw, great, interesting episode, but I want to talk about something in wrestling news. First off, Darby is a bigger daredevil than Jeff Hardy will ever be. Diving 90 feet from the top of a waterfall cliff all the way down to the lake. 90 feet. I don't think Jeff Hardy has anything on that. And also, AEW locker room is becoming a little bit toxic. I'm just saying. We got Sammy. First, Sammy has issues with Eddie Kingston. Now he's got issues with Andrade. What is going on in the AEW locker room? Help me, Lord. AEW's locker room is getting a little toxic, and we need a little help. But let's get down to business. Now, let's get into the show. We opened up the show with Triple H ushering in the new era of SmackDown with an amazing quote: "The end is just the beginning." Awesome quote, by the way. We have new face on SmackDown. Wade Barrett is now on a partner of Michael Cole, who apparently has more husbands, but he says Barrett is going to be his favorite. No. Pat McAfee is my favorite tag team partner and commentary for Michael Cole on SmackDown, and I hope to see Pat McAfee commentating for WWE after football season because I really miss having Pat there. And I kind of feel a little bit sad for Wade Barrett because with Wade Barrett being on SmackDown, that means he can't go to NXT to simp and drool over Mandy Rose, just like Jerry Lawler simped and drooled over Trish Stratus, and quite frankly, every slim model like female wrestler of the Ruthless Aggression era. Now, y'all know I'm just playing. You have the right to like whoever you want. I'm just being funny because we all know Wade Barrett drools over Mandy Rose, and he doesn't have anybody on SmackDown to drool over. Bless his bad news bearing soul. But in any event, Triple H ushers in the show. We got Roman Reigns and the Bloodline coming in, getting acknowledged by the Massachusetts crowd. Logan Paul comes in, and fans still don't like Paul. In fact, not Heyman, Logan Paul. And what's funny is a fan stuck out his hand for Logan to greet him, and as soon as Logan reaches, he does this. And I don't know if he gave him the finger or the one sign, but he Logan just got April Fool's by a fan in October. So much, that's what you call a trick. October tricks. But in any event, fans still don't like Logan, probably because of that incident where he took that inappropriate selfie in one of the Chinese countries. I'm going to get that mixed up. Please bear with me. But one of those was a very disturbing selfie that had fans very angry, and The Rock didn't want it to distance himself from that. So I guess that's why everybody hates Logan Paul. That's going to be a new TV show. Everybody hates Paul. Logan Paul, I'm speaking of. And of course, Paul Heyman comes in and starts cutting a promo and mentioning people whom I have no idea exist. Who the heck is Andrew Tate? I'm just saying. But in any event, Logan stirs the pot, gets hothead Jay mad, and Sami Zayn has to play peacekeeper. But Sami is starting to get over with the crowd a bit. I mean, can we get old Sami back? Because the fans certainly want him back. Moving forward, we got Ricochet versus Solo. And just like the 2K video games, Solo attacked Ricochet, whose birthday is tomorrow, and he attacked him during the entrance, and it was a pretty interesting match. What I thought was very interesting was how Solo caught Ricochet with a shooting. He countered the shooting star press and countered it, turning it into a spinning solo, which is a modified version of the Rock Bottom, known by their cousin The Rock. Also, moving forward, remember when Kenny King from TNA was a hothead? When him, MVP, and Bobby Lashley were the trio? Also, moving forward, we have Hit Row having a special, was supposed to come out and have a tag match, but instead we had Hit Row get attacked by what we now knew was Santos Escobar and company. But what surprised me was we didn't get Elektra Lopez attacking BFAB as I thought. It was Selena Vega who is returning. And just when Aleister Black was about to go home and unwind, I was thinking, well, when Aleister or Malachi unwinds, he gets to go home and hang out with Zelina and play a bunch of video games and watch anime. Because if you follow them on social media, you know they're huge anime fans, Naruto fans. I hope I said that correctly. Just certain animated character likes in video games. They love that kind of stuff. But in any event, Zelina is at work. Malachi is at home chilling. But I thought it was Electra. We got Zelina Vega, and I was still excited to see that. And I was reminded that a fan had spotted Zelina in Boston. But what was interesting was I'm glad I forgot so that the excitement could still be there because sometimes you're happy to hear things, but a lot of times social media can kind of kill the excitement, which is why for me, I'm going to try not, I'm going to be real careful what I get into from now into tomorrow before Extreme Rules because I don't want any spoilers. I don't want to just ruin any excitement. Speaking of excitement, the bunny during the post main event promo that Wade Barrett and Michael Cole were promoting, there was a rabbit right behind them. I don't know if anyone paid that any attention, but there was a rabbit that was not there at the beginning. I just want to point that out. They playing with us. I think it's Bray Wyatt. It can be anyone, but I think it's Bray Wyatt. And also, we got an official White Rabbit tag tonight, or vignette, should I say. We got an official one. Really excited about tomorrow. It is going to be interesting, but I know it's going to be, I believe it's Bray Wyatt. Feed your head. So, and we haven't seen this in a while, but we got SmackDown shorts tonight involving Xia Li and Sonya Deville versus Raquel, who got her smile back, alluding to Shawn Michaels, and Shotzi, who got her tank back. People are just taking back stuff today. But in any event, a very short but chaotic match in which Raquel would pin Sonya Deville for Shotzi and Raquel to get some momentum as a tag team. Also, Karrion Kross and Scarlett made their entrance tonight, and Drew McIntyre appeared right behind them, just like he did during that epic pose when The Undertaker, one of my all time favorites, was doing the throat slash gesture, and Drew appeared right behind him like a horror film. He did the exact same thing to Karrion, and Karrion Kross was about to get the hands. Except the only reason why Karrion got the upper hand once again was due to the distraction and interference of the Guardians of the Independent scene, as Triple H once called them, when Batista spat on the mic, just like Sami Zayn spits when he talks. People spit when they talk. But in any event, Drew was about to get it, if not for the Guardians of the Independent scene. But nonetheless, really excited about tomorrow. Really excited about just about all the matches and to see the White Rabbit, whom I believe is Bray Wyatt. Speaking of eerie promos, could we see former Riot Squad member come back and join her husband Eric as part of the Raiders? Because we saw a bit of a dark, what you call a dark Viking vignette tonight, and we heard a female voice which teased that Riot Squad member, whom I forgot her name, would be joining Eric, whom she's married to in real life. So, never know. Also, a lot of bad blood going on between the bloodline, no pun intended, with Jay and Sami Zayn. Jay, Sammy, and Jimmy are set to go off against New Day, and New Day were to pick a partner. It was funny when Xavier Woods said, "You, you the dad who stepped up." That was funny. That was a funny line. But in any event, a lot of issues going on, and Jay being the hothead is now Sammy's problem, and he's everyone's problem tonight because they just could not get along when the mystery partner is Braun Strowman. And of course, that tag that Jay delivered to Sami Zayn could be heard all the way from Boston to Philadelphia, where they'll be tomorrow. They heard that everywhere. That smack tag, we heard that in the balcony. But a lot of heat going on, and they had to mute Jay because Jay was cussing Sami Zayn out. But while that was going on, Braun was tearing everybody up. They then came and bulldozed Sammy and Jay long enough for New Day to finish off Jimmy. So Roman gonna be backstage waiting with a belt. I'm just playing. Now let's get into this main event. This was a great main event. And like I said, during the post-main event promotion that Cole and Barrett gave, the bunny was right behind them. Bunnies. But in any event, and it's not even Easter, but in any event, a good match between Walter, as I like to call him, and Sheamus. And I noticed how Cole, not Pole, bloopers. Notice how Cole mentioned the word professional wrestling, which, if you have followed WWE as I have since childhood, you know that pro wrestling is a bad word, or as Paul Heyman called it in 2001, the dirty word. And Cole mentioned a word that Joey Styles had been wanting to say and Paul Heyman had been wanting to say. But we got it. And I love, one of the highlights is I love how Sheamus delivered 10 beats of the drum on the first, middle, and bottom rope, kicked out of a power bomb and a body splash to the spine. And what's questionable is, was that really a tap out by Walter? Because I remember one time Kane and Kurt Angle had faced off on an episode of SmackDown in '01. And Angle had Kane in an ankle lock, and Kane did like this, and the referee rung the bell. When I don't know if that was a real tap because he only did this, and Walter tonight did this. So that almost looked like a tap out. So that's a controversial call right there to me. Do you think that was a tap out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But nonetheless, great fight until the Imperium came and just got into a fight with the Brawling Brutes, and someone gave a shillelagh, and Walter cheated. That is not sacred at all. But he went dirty tonight to win. So, what are your thoughts on tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown? Let me know in the comments. That's all the time I got for you today, and I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. Hopefully, we can talk about the bunny returning tomorrow. See you then, folks.